Nadia's stream about doing security and a night knocker position as we are discussing the Institute. I'll try to link that in the description of this video if I can. But in downtown Leavenworth, after hours, I will come across a few businesses. My base of operations at the Leavenworth local hotel, and I do security work there. And after hours, I'll make sure that the place stays safe. And I have a couple other businesses here in downtown Leavenworth that I'll take a look at. Currently, we are on 5th Street. You'll see that it's after 10 o'clock at night, so most of the traffic signals, if not all of them, are basically just cautionary. You know, just take it easy. There's not a lot of traffic, but there's a lot of businesses. Some of them I just take a quick look at, and then some of them I have to do a deeper dive. I get paid to make sure that they don't burn down, no transients sleeping in front of them, and just overall good protection. It's nice to have a night watchman or night knocker. You'll see a lot of this was built so that the local businesses, this one being First City Creatives, which is kind of an artsy place where kids can work on art projects and things like that. They've also got a soda fountain and adjacent to them. But a lot of these buildings are made with little mini apartments above them. They're double deckers that have little apartments above them. So that's pretty cool. Now we're off of 4th and Delaware. We're near the Bateman Law Office, where I actually used to have an office. Since there's no traffic in the street, he said right before he got run over, I can kind of get away with this a little bit and give you a little bit of a bird's eye view. So when I first moved here to Leavenworth, or moved back here to Leavenworth, this was my office. So I'd be upstairs in the Bateman Law Office. That first window, that was my office. But they wound up needing that for their paralegals and whatnot. And the Batemans are both ex-military and were my landlords. And they're attorneys. I guess they also have an accounting in here. I'll make sure that's locked. 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 Good to go. For your standard night knocker stuff or night watchman, you don't need much. Flashlight, make sure it's a good one. This one tends to be. Just make sure there's no damage to any of the property. No one's sleeping in front of any of the places. In Lawrence, Kansas, this is a lot harder because there's a much larger transient community. But here in Leavenworth, they don't really play that. So it's a cool antiques place here. They do not pay me, but I will look at it anyway, make sure it's okay. And one of my favorite places over here, the Book Barn. This is a cool place. A lot of good books in there. I've gotten a lot of books from them over the years. It's only open one day a week, which is weird. Now, here's one of the properties that I actually do look after, the Hibiscus Juice Bar. You can see they've got a ring camera right there. Just make sure that everything is cool in there. Everything's fine. Push on the door is secured. Everything's good to go. It's pretty well lit. Don't even really need the flashlight. Every now and then I'll take a shortcut. And I'll go through some of the back alleys, and that's when I kind of need the flashlight a little bit. But for the most part, it's exactly as advertised. Just walking around making sure there's no problem. Kind of like an old beat cop in the 50s. Except I don't need a gun. So this is probably the busiest intersection. This is the one where the light is actually still working. This is 4th Street, Cross Street, Delaware, where all the businesses are. This is the one where you still have the crosswalk operational and you still have the light going because it gets the heaviest traffic. This will lead you all the way to the base, or it'll lead you all the way down out of town. You can follow this and it'll turn into K7 and you'll go all the way to Lansing. You can go to another town altogether. So pretty cool. We got a lot of bars down here. Fatheads Irish Pub. That was the first bar I ever went to when I was stationed here back after 9/11. And a little farther down is the movie theater, which probably still has some people at it. And that's pretty cool. So we'll do our turnaround. Like I said, this is probably the only busy road in the entire town this time of night. I think around 6 o'clock in the morning, 7, they turn all the stoplights back on. This is a cool little place, the Alpha Geek computer shop. It's owned by a friend of mine. He does a lot of tech stuff for me. So you have some old computer stuff or whatever, you can take a look at that. Oh, looks like he might actually even be in there. I wonder if he is. It'd be interesting. I'm not going to bother him, though, if he's here late at night. I'm going to bug him. This is the back alley that I used to have to check every night when I was at the Bateman Law Office, but they don't pay me anymore, and I don't work there anymore, and I don't rent there anymore, so there's no point in me checking that. So, as advertised, doing a little bit of a walking post, checking things out. Good to get some cardio in. You'll definitely get your steps in a job like this. Even more so inside the hotel where I have to walk up and down. Like I said, this town is easy. There's nothing seriously happening here. You don't have all the drug users and college kids running around. You got the big army base and a bunch of jails and prisons. So that doesn't tend to be a super big problem. Courthouse right there. Pretty cool. It's a nice night. Bank. That's the back of the Bateman Law Office over there. My hope is to get a few of the businesses that I don't already have on my payroll, since I'm already out and about and I'm already checking places. Any number of these small businesses that are privately owned would be ideal to have as customers. Barbershop, Pac-Man. Pretty cool. A lot of these tend to be lit up, so they don't even need, with the advent of Ring security cameras and things like that, you don't even need that much. But Ring security cameras will not stop a fire if one should develop, and that is a danger when you have these double-decker buildings where they have the upstairs living areas. Even if nobody lives in them, they're definitely still a fire hazard. So, and that's basically our circuit. As you can see, we're back on Shawnee, and we're about to be back at the hotel again. across the street right here. Definitely wouldn't do this in the daytime, but at night when there's nothing going on, there's no real traffic, I could walk down the middle of the main street here and probably be totally fine, at least for a while. Speed limit's all 20 miles, 30 miles. So pretty easy. Not too much to worry about. Somebody's barbecuing or something. You can smell it. There's a couple good restaurants nearby here. I wonder if that's what we're smelling, or if some of the people that live in one of these areas, in one of these buildings, is cooking something. I know for a fact some of these small businesses, like across the street, Ramo's Pawn and Gun Store, I know they live above. You can see that their lights are on, and they live there. You see a guy on one of those motorized bicycles going straight down Main Street, because why not? The Davis Funeral Home has its own bank clock and temperature gauge. So it's about 78. It's a little warmer than I would prefer. After 10 o'clock, I'll make 2 more passes during the night unless I get busy or start stream watching something and forget, or start writing. But usually I'll give at least 1, maybe 2 more checks. Now within the hotel, which is my main base of operations, I'll check that 2 or 3 more times minimum tonight. Pretty good camera system, CCTV system. Plus the maintenance guy backs me up if I need help. So, the Leavenworth Local is a former Catholic school. I believe Catholic boarding school, because I believe the kids lived here. And it's been deconsecrated and is now a hotel. Mostly servicing officers from foreign countries, because it's now owned by a former lieutenant colonel. We'll take out our trusty key card. That's my business right there. AIM, Aegis Investigation Mediation. And on the back end, I've got my key card. We'll do that. Doors are locked after 10 o'clock. And this is the main lobby. And as you can see, because we don't have a nighttime auditor or somebody at the desk, I've printed off that anyone with an emergency can call the number, or they can call on the radio, and then the radio is attached to my radio. And even if I was far away as I was, they could still get a hold of me. And that's basically it. That's how the job goes. So thanks for spending some time with me on my live. And yeah.